New vlog. Morning, everybody. So I've decided to do a second vlog, and again, it's going to be about waterways. Why? Well, because I woke up yesterday morning, and this was what was on my news feed. An article from our Gisborne Herald that's talking about our abnormally high levels of Giardia and Salmonella, both water and foodborne illnesses. So according to the article, the public health officials are currently interviewing the presented cases of Giardia and Salmonella just to try and track the source of the issue. But honestly, I don't see why this should be a surprise to anybody when you have a look at the water quality in our area, in our region. So let's have a look at Gladstone Road Bridge, arguably the most utilised freshwater site, routinely used by swimmers. Our kids jump off the bridge right there. One of our Wakama clubs, Horota, is located at that site. We have another club, Māreikura, just upstream. Stand-up paddleboarders, kayakers, scullers. It's a highly utilised area, and it has been all summer. And what's the water quality been like all summer? Boom. High levels of E. coli and enterococci. So just to explain, E. coli and enterococci are two types of bacteria, and they exist in the guts and in the intestines of humans and animals, and it enters our waterway through feces, through tutai. So some strains of E. coli can make people very sick. It can cause diarrhea, it can cause urinary tract infections, it can lead to respiratory illness, it can lead to pneumonia. And for these reasons, E. coli and enterococci are both markers for water contamination. And they're one of the standard measures for water contamination in New Zealand and around the world. So let's carry on, have a look at some of the other recreation sites and see what the other E. coli and enterococci levels have been like this summer. So over here at the cut, at the mouth of the river, again, a very highly utilised fishing spot and a thoroughfare for our paddlers, and boom, more enterococci. And if we turn around and go back upstream to the Waimata, home of Māreikura Wakaama Club and the Gisborne Scullers, boom. Again, more unsafe levels of E. coli and enterococci. So now what we're looking at is pretty much the entire stretch of our Wakaama training grounds being on contaminated water. And what about elsewhere in the region? Let's have a look at Dede Rock Slide. Why wouldn't we have a look at Dede Rock Slide? We've been promoting it all summer and inviting people to come and swim there. That's a site that's been promoted heavily, not just by the Gisborne Herald, but by Gisborne Council, by Eastland Tourism, and also by some of our locals who have gone there to swim and slide and make drone videos, which have gone viral, and that's no pun intended, and they've invited everybody to come and swim at the rock slide all summer. So let's have a look at the water that we've been inviting them to swim in. And boom. Arguably the worst water quality in our region, which is really saying something. Unsafe levels of E. coli have been featuring right throughout the summer. This issue could have been prioritised quite a while ago, except a number of our local councillors voted against fast-tracking our wastewater issues. And if that wasn't bad enough, they're now looking to build a jumping platform for our kids to leap into those toxic waterways. And that platform is going to be located right between the Cut and Gladstone Road Bridge, those two problem areas that I mentioned a little while ago. So what's it going to take? What's it going to take for our councillors to take this issue seriously? Because I have to say that when you're arguing for a jumping platform into those waterways, you're not taking it seriously. You're pretty much advocating to invite Giardia and Salmonella right into households. And then you're going to try and mitigate it by saying, well, we can do a bit of research here and there. What's it going to take for you to realise the seriousness of that type of a decision? A tragedy? A pregnant young mum losing her pregnancy? Would you even recognise the link between your decision and those types of outcomes if that was to happen? And if councillors are not mature enough to recognise the public health risk and fast-track this issue as a matter of public safety, then they've got no place approving recreational resources in those waterways. It's simply not a responsible decision, and it's not the type of leadership that our whānau deserve in this city. Because you know better, councillors, you have those water quality results at hand. You know that this is a public safety issue. So when you know better, you've got to make better decisions. And if we, as a community, can't vote people in who are going to make a stand for the environment and make a stand for our waterways and be consistent on that stand, then we've got no place asking for that dumping platform. Because we're still quite willing to send our kids into that danger zone. That's not responsible. We're still willing to stick our heads in the sand and pretend that we can keep safely swimming in those waterways. And while we're doing that, we're never going to give this issue the attention it deserves. Stop pretending that our waterways are swimmable and start insisting on restoring them back to a swimmable standard. Mauri ora.